And I promise that I'm here regardless if I'm here enough. Goddamn.
Alright, yo, what's going on, guys? This is Lawrence, and before I start this tutorial, I just want to put a quick disclaimer before it starts so this video doesn't get flagged like the last one. I do not encourage or incite any illegal activities of getting any of these programs for free, and this is for educational purposes only, just to show you guys how to make an intro. So, yeah, that's it. Peace out.
Okay, what is going on, guys? My name is Lawrence, and today we are going to be learning how to make an intro. So I have everything that you will need, like plugins wise and stuff like that, in the description, as well as some free stuff for you that I will be using in this intro. So yeah, I'm going to start off with that you have a little bit basic fundamental knowledge about Cinema4D and AfterEffects. If you don't, that's fine though. You should still be able to follow along with me and make an intro. So first we're going to start off in the program Cinema4D. And this is what startup should look like. I don't know about the frames, but it should look pretty much like this. And so first thing that we want to do over here in the project, you can go over here to mode and project, or it should just be startup default like this. This little linear workflow checkbox, you just want to uncheck that. This is like a shadowing lighting thing, and it messes up your materials. So you want that off. And then we're going to want to change this. This is our frame, so this is how long the intro is going to be. For a 10-second intro, this would be 300 seconds, or 300 frames, I mean, so that would be 10 seconds. And you just drag this, and so now you have your full timeline for 10 seconds. But instead, I don't like having mine in frames, I like having mine in seconds. So if you'd like to put yours in seconds, you just go over here to Edit, Preferences, and then right here under here on Units, just change the animation unit from frames to seconds. And so you see now we have 10 seconds. Alright, so first things first, what we are going to do is set up our camera. So this little camera icon here, is going to click that, and it gives you a camera right here. And then this little squiggly line, you want to click and hold, and then hover over the circle, and then just let go, and you should have a circle. So this little black box over here by the camera, this is what puts you into its POV. So if I click it, this is now what the camera is seeing, and if I unclick it, I'm in like a free camera mode, so you can see that's our camera, and if I click it, I get to see. So this is what we're going to be animating with. This is pretty much how you animate your text. So you're going to drag this camera under the circle to get this little black arrow, and once you're doing that, you can click on the circle, and you click on this little rotation tool, and you can see that it rotates around. So this is how you're going to rotate and animate around your text. But first we gotta get everything aligned in center. So you're gonna click on your camera, and down here in these rotation coordinates, you're gonna put all these to 0. And then the same with these position coordinates, except for this very last one, because this is your zoom in and out, and you don't want this at 0 because it'd be too close. So you can just put this at like -1200. So now that we have our camera set up, we can begin making our text. So you're gonna go up here to this little tab that says MoGraph. And once you click it, there's going to be this little tab right here called MoText. You're going to click that, and this is what it's going to pop up with. So first we're going to change what you want the intro to say in this little text tab right here. So I'm just going to make mine say tut. And then once we've done that, the alignment, you're going to want to put this from left to middle. So now we can start giving our text caps and stuff. So for the def, I put mine at 50. This is just how wide the text is. You can see it went from 20 to 50, like as I put it. You can change this to whatever. You can do it whatever you think looks good. This is just what I put mine to. I put mine to 50. That's what I just think looks good. I don't know why it's being retarded, but okay, we're gonna redo that part. So middle and tut. So I put mine to 50. Then we're gonna go over to this little caps tab, and where it says start and end, you're gonna want to put a fillet cap on both of those. Now these add kind of like roundness and softness to the edges, so it's not so like just cuts off right away. So for the steps on both, you're gonna put them to 14, and then you're gonna want to click there at your motex, and you're gonna press Control C and Control V to copy and paste that, and you're gonna change the radius on the new one to half. So mine was 5, so I'm gonna make it 2.5 on both. Then go to the depth on the new one and make it bigger than the original. So I'm gonna make this one 70. And you're gonna see this little blue arrow. You click it, hold Shift, and then move it back. And so now we have our text with the layered text, so we can put materials on the front and the back. Then we're gonna grab both the text by clicking one and then holding Shift and clicking the other. And you're gonna hold the Shift like I said earlier, and then you're gonna bring this down to 60 centimeters, just so everything's in the middle. And now we get to pick our fonts. So if you don't have any fonts, just go to defont.com and you can look at all the fonts that they have there. I can name off a few good fonts for you guys. Red Circle's a good font, Rainfall, Quartzo, Plump, Nova Solid's a pretty good font. Makito Ultra is a really good font too. Magma Wave Caps, and so is MF Plexus. This is what I'm going to be using for this intro. So yeah, I think this looks pretty good with this. So now we have our font pick and our depth pick, we're going to click on the circle, and you can either middle click with like your mouse scroll wheel like right here, or you can just click this little button and then go over here, and you're going to put the circle in the middle. So you're going to drag it into the middle of the text, this little line, just so when we rotate it and stuff, it's like a clear rotation, and it's from the middle, so everything looks even. And once we've done that, we're going to click our text again, and we are going to Control C, Control V them. And with these, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them individually text. So I'm going to make this new one that I just made a T, like my original, and I'm going to move it to where the T would normally be if they were just like normal mode text, like 2. Press Control V again, and then we go U, and then we're going to put it where the U would be, then Control V again and put it where the T would be, like so, and then we can delete our original. And so now we have 3 individual letters for our motext. So we can individually rotate them if we would like to, or we can put different mats, like a blue in the front and a silver in the back, or a silver in the front. On each one we can rotate colors. So now that we have our motext, what we're going to do is click 2 of them, of the same one, and you're going to right click on top of it and go over here to group objects. You're going to put them in a null, and you're going to do this for each of them. And what a null is, it's kind of like a grouping thing that puts whatever you grouped it inside of it, and you're going to rotate it that way. So when we're going to rotate the text, we're going to rotate it from the null, not from actually the motext, because if you would rotate the motext just by clicking both of them, and you would rotate, one of them would lag behind, and they wouldn't rotate at the same time. One would always be behind it, and it would look really weird. So now that we have them in nulls, we're going to click on both of them, on all 3 of them, and then you're going to go here to the little pointer tool, into this axis tool, and this axis tool is wherever we put it is where the intro is going to, where the letters are going to rotate from. So you're going to want it in the middle, because if you didn't have them in the middle and you just left the default null, it would rotate from the bottom, and that's not the right rotation that we want. We want it from the middle. So you're going to want to drag it to where it looks around the middle of the text, and then we're going to go back to this little view, and we're going to drag it to the middle. And so now instead of the rotation we had before, we have rotation that's in place. Alright, so now that we have our text set up, we're going to save this by pressing Control S and then just saving it to your desktop as whatever. I can't. Okay, oh, it's in caps. And just save it in case your Cinema4D crashes or anything, because Cinema4D is pretty tedious, so you don't want to be losing any work. So always save. Save always and often. Alright, so now that we have our text set up, we're going to go up here to this little like play button with the little settings, and you're going to click this, Now these are your render settings on how your intro is going to look. So for your output, you're going to want this to be HD. So I like 1920 by 1080. If your computer can't handle it, you can always tone it down, 1080, 720, etc. It's just all up to you. And same with frame rate. I like mine 60 because 60 is smoother than 30. But if it takes too long and your computer can't handle it, just put it on 30. And you're gonna want your frame range to all frames, so it renders the whole intro instead of the current frame or whatever it's on. And then that's it for the output. Now for save, what you're gonna do, this little bar is where it's gonna render to. So you're gonna want a folder that it's gonna render into, because it's gonna be a bunch of pictures. It's gonna be, if you render just 30 FPS, it's gonna be 300. But if you render 60, it's gonna be 600 because it's gonna be rendering double the frames. So you're gonna want a folder because it's gonna be rendering a lot of pictures. So in my GFX folder, I have a render here folder, and then I just make a new folder each time. So that's what you're gonna want to do. You're gonna want to put a make a folder for your render. So I'll go here, folder, then intro tut render. So that's where it's gonna render to. And once you've done that, oh wait, did I not save it? Oops. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, so we're gonna save it. We're gonna save it here. So intro tut. Save it there, and then for our format, we're gonna render this in a PNG sequence. So you're just gonna click on PNG, and then you're gonna check this little bubble alpha channel. That's so it doesn't render with the black background. So it has no background, just renders the text. You're gonna open up this little tab. It's a compositing project file, and you're gonna want to make sure this is on AfterEffects, and then you want all of these checked. Now this is what's gonna make your intro like 3D. It's gonna render in the camera with it as well. So you're just going to click Save Project, and then I usually just save it on the desktop because this is what you're actually going to drag into After Effects so it loads in. So intro to AAC. It's called an AAC. So once you've done that, we have it where it's going to be saved. You can go over to anti-aliasing, and where it says geometry, just going to put that to best, and then change the max level to 2x2. And then for options, ray def you want to put to 6, reflection def 2, and then the shadow def to 6. And then we're going to add another effect. We're going to add a sharpen filter, and then you're going to want to put this to like 4. And there are some basic render settings. I'm not going to be using these exact ones because the materials I have render settings for them already. But I'll be leaving materials, some free shockwaves and stuff like that in the description. So just check that. But yeah, this would be just good if it doesn't have render settings. These would be good to use. These pretty much work with any intro. So. Yeah. So once we've done that, we're going to load in our materials. So as I said, I have them in the description of this video for you guys. So downloads desktop, and we're going to go to our GFX, and I have my HDRI folder where I keep all of my materials and stuff like that. So when you have your material folder open, there should be a little lib4d file. It's this, like a little white thing. This is what you're actually going to drag in on top of your intro into Cinema4D, and it should load in a little window that has your Lightroom and the materials for it, like this. So first what you want to do is click on the Lightroom, and you're going to load in your Lightroom, and then it may have render settings, it may not. Mine does, so I'm going to use the render settings for this one, like so. And then materials, I am going to load in all of them. So you click the first one, go to the bottom, hold shift, and click the last one, and just drag them into this little tab area over here. And then you're going to keep this open the whole time, so you can just minimize it and keep it down there. And there you have all your intros, or all your materials loaded in. You can choose what color you want. For this one, I'm going to be doing blue intro. So I like to use this iron one and this blue one. So I prefer starting with iron in the front, and then once you put your material on, you need this little like window will pop up right here. So default, the projection is going to be on UVW mapping. You want to click that and put it on cubic, and then where this little seamless bubble is, you want to check that. Now what that does is it spreads the material across, so each of these materials has a little picture, and that's what gives it like the texture. So if you just have it on default, it doesn't show it, it just shows like a blank material. So clicking that things I just told you to spreads out the picture that's actually on the material across, so you can actually see it like that, so you can actually see it. So we're going to do that with every material you put on, and I'm just going to rotate off. So I'm going to put a blue in the back, and then I'm going to put a silver in the back and a blue in the front on this one. and then a silver in the front, and then a blue in the back. Okay, so now that we have our materials set up, we can pre-render it. These are Fusion's V2 lights. His Fusion light, I think they are. What are they? Yeah, his Fusion lights 2K16. So I guess they're his V2, I think, or his V3. V2. It's the one before his most recent one. So yeah, if you want to get those, I'll leave a link into his Saphire shop below in the description. I don't know why I said below. That was so like 2008 YouTuber. But yeah. So next, what we're going to do is pick our song. So I already have mine planned out, but I'm gonna show you guys how you would do it. So you're gonna go on the internet and you'd go on YouTube, and you're gonna find the song that you want. And so you can get the link of the YouTube video, and you're gonna put it into this, and you convert it, you download it, and then the next website. These will all be in the description, by the way. So this is the YouTube converter, YouTube to MP3. And once you got the music you want, that you converted it from YouTube, you're gonna go to mp3cut.net, and you're gonna open up your music, and then you'll go to cut, and then you'll put the wavelengths. There's like little tick marks. You put it to however long you want it to be, and to where you want it to be. Then you cut it, and then you'll have a 10-second music of where you have your music that you picked originally. And then once you've done that, you're gonna put the music that you want in Cinema4D. So I think if you have the newer version of Cinema4D, that MP3 files go into it, but mine don't. I have R13, which is pretty old, so I have to convert my MP3s to WAV formats. So you go to this website, and you're gonna click Browse. You're gonna find your music, your MP3 that you cut. You're gonna change the bit resolution to 16-bit, and then you're gonna change your sampling rate to 44100. Hertz, and then after that you're going to convert it, and you'll get a little download link, and that's what you'll put into Cinema4D. So I've already done all that. So when you've done all of that, you're going to go up here to MoGraph again, and you're going to go to Effector, and then you're going to get a sound. These little browsing dots, you're going to click that, and you're going to find your WAV file that you have. Mine's right here. Open it, and you should now be able to hear the music. I'm actually turning this down. It's probably going to be loud. I'll put this at like 1. Okay. Alright, so now you should be able to hear the music. If when you put it in, it actually might be too loud, or it might be chopping up. I mean, not too loud. It might be like choppy. You want to go up here to animate, and you're going to go over here to frame rate, and you're just going to click on all frames. That is if it, when you're playing it, it kind of like skips and chops it up. That should fix it. So now that we have our music in our Cinema4D, we can start animating. You just kind of listen to it, and you see where you just kind of like leave a marker. So like on my Lightroom right here, I'll like keyframe it, like if with this button right here. Keyframe it leaves a little marker, and that's where I think I hear something, and I'll put it there, and I'll play it through the intro and see if it looks fine. So the first step is to find your drop of your intro. It should be over here within like 90 to probably like 50. That's usually where the drops are at. So you just kind of play it and you listen. So mine sounds like it's at 50. Yeah, mine's at around 50. And then I'm gonna do one Cinema4D sync. So it's at another drop. Yeah, it sounds like it's about there. So you just kind of hear it. It's not that hard. It's pretty simple. You just kind of gotta listen for it, and so yeah. So now that we know where our where we're gonna sync at, we can begin animating. Actually, no, not yet. Actually, no. Next, what we're gonna do is our nulls. You're gonna click the bottom one and then the top one, and then you're gonna group those nulls into another null. So you can rotate these nulls like this all together. Because if you just run them like this, they would kind of lag behind each other still. So this is how you rotate all of them. This is how you would rotate single letters and stuff like that, if that's what you want to do. And if you're wondering how I'm like backing up and undoing this, it's just Control Z. Alright, so we know that I'm gonna turn the music off because we don't need it on anymore. So we know that our drop is at around 50. We're gonna grab on our circle. We're gonna rotate first. So we're gonna go here to 0, and you're gonna put like about here, kind of an offset angle. And then you're gonna keyframe it, You go over here to 10 behind your drop. So our drop was at 50. So I'm going to go to 40. And with that, you're going to go back a little bit. So I'm trying to rotate it back like this. So you want to set it up for it to rotate, so kind of back where it's already starting to go back a little bit. So we have it like this, and then once we get to 50, we're going to completely rotate it, but we're not going to go completely up like this. We want to go up like this so it leads in, so it's smooth, so you can see what we have right here. And then we're going to go up to our Cinema4D sync, so it's at 147, so we're going to go to 137, 10 behind. And so I'm going to rotate this back for the Cinema4D sync, so it's going to go backwards. So I'm going to lead it into the next Cinema4D sync, like so. So it's back, so it's already starting to go back. And so now you can see that we have some pretty smooth rotations. Okay. And then once we're going to go to our Cinema4D sync, and I'm just going to completely rotate it like that. And then rotate this back a little bit more, and then we can fix this up. It'll look a little choppy when you first do it, but that's where we fix it up later. And then at the end, I'll probably just actually I think I'll only make this 8 seconds. So at the end, I'll just leave it like up, like backwards a little bit. Yeah, like that. Alright. Okay, so for now we're going to fix our rotation up because it kind of like goes back and forth. So this one needs to go back a little bit more. Just going to rotate it back. Okay, that looks pretty good. We may need to F-curve this too, so you can go over here to your coordinates and then right click over this animation and show off curve. And so you can see that our problem's right here, so we'll just kind of bring it down a little bit. Okay, now that we have our rotation all done, we can begin animating with our camera. So we're going to save this, and with your camera what you're going to do is, I usually use coordinates when I am at like the beginning, for when I begin to start animating with the camera. That's usually the hardest part for me, is animating with the camera, but I think coordinates makes it a lot easier because you just kind of like set it up to an angle you like, and then you start backtracking, like decreasing till you get back to the drop. So I like using this. So this is for the beginning. I like using this is like your side to side rotation, and this is like your circle rotation. That's what I like to use first. So at 0, you can turn this up a little bit. I'll turn mine to like right about there, just so it's at a different angle. And then for this one, you want to rotate it into like around the 200s, like just barely 200s. So it's kind of like on its side. Then you're going to hold control and you're going to click these to keyframe them and set it with this because you're using coordinates. We're going to go 10 to before I drop, like so, just like we did with everything else. And you're just going to gradually start decreasing these. So I'm going to decrease this to like around so, like just a little bit away from 0. And then this one you want to just decrease a little bit. This one you want to keep fairly high still. So like maybe like here. And then another drop, we're going to just lower this. We're going to come back like that, and we're going to bring it around. Like so. Now you can see what we have. Alright, yeah, that looks pretty good. So we're going to go 10 away from our drop, like we did before. And we're just going to keep decreasing them. Bring this to the middle. I want to bring this kind of down, because we're just going to lead into our next Cinema4D sync as well. Okay, that looks pretty good. It's a pretty good animation. Yep. Alright, that's very smooth. So next what we're going to do is we're going to rotate this. So once we get to our Cinema4D sync, we want to keep rotating this. So I'm going to start using the actual little like blue line here to rotate. So it's going it's going down right, so we're gonna push it more down to the right for this in mobile racing. So you're gonna push it to the left so it goes down. We want to rotate this, but you don't want to rotate it all the way. You want to like have it smooth into each other. So we'll go like to right here, and then at the end you just want to like just put it down a little bit, like so, and keyframe that. Alright, so now you can see what we have with the music. Alright, so when it drops here and it like kind of stops and it goes back the other way and then does that, we just need to F-curve that. It's like not smooth enough and it needs to lead into each other. So you're going to click on your camera and you're going to go to this one, the B. You're going to right click and animation and show F-curve again. And so this is like a problem here, how like it should all lead into each other. It shouldn't go up like that. So you're going to click on this one and you're just going to lower it down. Keep lowering this like that. I want to lower it just a little bit more, just so everything's smooth and goes into each other right. Alright. I don't like that, how it does that. Alright, now let's see what we have. So I need to fix the rotation because it just like spins too fast. Like it shouldn't be like there already. So now we can F-curve this, so you're going to go to the P, animation, and show F-curve. Actually, I think we already have it open. Right here. And then we're going to F-curve this. So we want that smoother. There we go. That looks a lot better. Bring this up now a little bit. Alright, that looks pretty good. So now we can see what we have again. It's a bit fast, but alright, so now we can do our camera zooms in and out. So for this one, I think I'll start far out like this and then keyframe it. And then 10 before I drop, I'll zoom in a lot like that. And then at our drop, I'll zoom out again like that. And then at our Cinema4D sync, I'm going to zoom it in. Actually, I'm going to zoom it out some more, actually. Like that. And then here, I'm going to keyframe it, then go to our drop, and I'm going to zoom it in. See, I want to fix the F-curve on this, though. I think it's too fast, but we're gonna save this actually. So we don't want to do that. kind of like that better. Just move the keyframe for the camera up. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay. So now I can add some more things to this. I think what I wanted to do at the drop is right here. I'm going to keyframe the nulls, the little individual letters right there, and go here to the Cinema4D sync. I'm gonna get out of the camera's view because it's so low. And I'm gonna like kind of like mess them up a bit, like kind of just like rotate them around. Keyframe them that way, maybe that'll look good. I don't know how I like how it looks though. I feel like it's a little too messed up. I think it'll look better if it was like that. Like that. And like that. And just move those to the drop. There you go, that looks good. Save that. Let's take another look at our F curves on the camera. Let's maybe load this just a tad bit more. And I can see what we have. Nothing we can do for the camera to make it a lot more smoother is you can highlight these and then we can unclamp them so they smooth into each other. Just make everything more smoother. And I think that's pretty good. Alright, so I think that looks pretty good for animation. It's pretty basic. It's not the best thing in the world, but I'm trying to keep this really simple for you guys. I would usually do something a little bit more complicated, but I just want to keep it simple. This is not to make the best and hottest intro. This is to make something simple and that anyone can learn how to do. Actually, I think I need to fix this. This is like rotated the wrong way. I don't like the way that's rotated. It's like rotated the same way as that. Just re-keyframe that and drag it on top of that. It's like the same like that one. Gosh damn it. Alright. Someone's facing now, so you face this one this way. And then I don't know how that looks. Does that look fine? I guess that last T just sucks. That turned in this way. That still looks bad. I don't know which way I should rotate this. It should be a different way, I feel like. So if that's going to the left, that's going down right. Should be going up left, I feel like. Maybe right? that looks good, I think. Look at that, maybe. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, that looks better. Alright, I think I'm happy with that. Alright, so now that we are done with the Cinema4D part, yeah, I think that's good. I think this shows basics enough. I don't want to get into splines and cubes and stuff. I think that looks pretty good. So yeah, I am gonna stop recording right now, and I'm gonna head on to the After Effects part. So I will see you guys there. But before I do that, just so you guys know how to render, you already have all this set up. Actually, I need to reset mine up because I got different render settings in a new thingy. Sure. And just change it to whatever. Save our file. Whatever. And you're just gonna click this little middle play button, and it will start rendering for you into that folder. It will render in little pictures. So yeah, I will see you guys in the After Effects part. Alrighty, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the second part of the tutorial. We will be doing the After Effects part now. I just looked at the Cinema4D part, and the audio kind of sucks, and I apologize for that. I don't think I set up my new headset up correctly, but I mean, I don't know. I think you guys can deal with it, but I do apologize for that. I don't know why it sounds so bad, but we're just gonna finish up this tutorial now, anyways. So, when you open up After Effects, this is what it should look like. It should ask you about a new composition. You can just close that, and this is where your project's going to be. So we're gonna move this over. And that little AEC that we saved on our desktop, you're going to drag this in right there. And this is what's going to have our whole intro inside of it. So we can also drag in our music. You're going to open up this little folder, and you're going to double click the little composition. And here you will have your full-on render. It'll be, we render in pictures, but when you put it into the AEC, it renders it as a video. It's a picture sequence that looks like a video. So this is the best way to get the best quality out of the intro is by PNGs. So yeah, we can drag our music down here into our timeline. So the first thing I want to do is you're going to click on this little like 3 lines. This is like your composition settings. Well, it brings up the menu that you can get to your composition settings right here. And whatever you render this on, you want to make sure that this is what the frame rate on. So I rendered 60, so you got to make sure this is on 60 as well as this. And just so everything is in the same frame rate, because if it's not, it's going to sound really weird, it's going to look really weird. So once you have this, you're going to right click over here in this like blank space, and you're going to go over here to new, and then solid, and you're going to grab a black solid. So if it's not black, you just want to drag this down to the black, and then press OK. Once it's highlighted, you're going to control and paste it twice. So you have 3 of them. One's going to go to the bottom, and that's going to be your background. Going to be your background. So here's your music, so our music, and here's our actual intro, the render, and then there's obviously our camera. This right here is going to be our fade in. So while on the layer, select on the black solid, you want to press T on your keyboard, and that's going to bring up your opacity. So you want to bring it to the very beginning of your intro and then keyframe it with this little button at 100. And I bring mine in like on an 8-second intro like this, I'll bring it in like 40. I'll bring it a little bit after 30 seconds. So right here, or not 30 seconds. I guess like right under a second right here, and you want to bring it down to 0. So I do a second fade in, and then go here to the end, and then keyframe this little dot here. That's gonna keyframe whatever your last keyframe was. So if this was 3, and then you press the dot over that little diamond over here, that'd be 3. Since it was 0, this is going to be 0, and then at the end make it another second, and then just make it 100. So we now have a fade in and fade out from black. So these are our fades, and then right here is going to be our black bars. So you're going to go over here to your effects and presets, and click there, and you're going to type in CC JAWS. You're going to click and hold it and drag it on top of the bars on your black solid, and on where it says completion right here, you want to put this to 75. And then for the height, you want to bring this down to 0. And this you want to bring this down to the lowest, which is 2. And so now we have a fade in and we have black bars. You can't really tell because there's a black background right now, but you will be able to tell later on when we put some smoke in and stuff. Alright, so now that we have our bars and fades and backgrounds, we're going to right click again, and we're going to get another black solid. and we're going to put it under the render, and this is going to be our particles. So first we're going to type in here is particular by Trapcode. It's one of the plugins you need, and you're dragging on top of there, and this is where we are going to be making our particles. So right here under the emitter tab, what you want to do is you're going to change the particles per second to 460. Instead of point, you're going to want to put that on the box, and that's all we're actually going to do in this tab, except for, actually no, down here you want to change these to 4,000 each. So the Y, Z, and X, you're going to want those all to be 4,000. So just make those 4,000. Alright, so now we are done with the emitter tab. We can move on to the particle tab. And so for the life per second, I put mine at 20. And the life random, you can put it around 40, 38. I put mine at 38. It's just, I don't know, I'm weird like that. Instead of sphere, you're going to put them on cloudlet. And then the cloudlet feather, you're going to want to put this to the max, which is 100. Size, I like mine relatively small particles, so I'll put mine at 1.3. Size random, you can put this up to bit, like to 25. Opacity, leave that at 100, but opacity random, you can put this at like 48 or 50. Transfer mode, put this to add, and we can pick our color now. So you can choose it here, click in here, you can move up and down, and then move this around. I prefer to use this little pencil, and you can click on anything, and that's the color it will be. So you can click on your intro and get like the exact color of it. Actually, kind of want to darken that a little bit. There you go, and we can do that. Next, what we are going to do is we're going to make these some rising particles. So we're going to go down here to the physics tab, and for the gravity, you want to put this to -60. And then we're going to go into the air tab right here, and for the wind and X, you're going to want to put this to 93. And then for the wind and Y, you want to put this to -124. And the wind and Z, you want to put that to 48. And so we now have rising particles like so. Pretty simple. I think that's all we have to do. Yeah, I think that's it for particles. Yeah. Now so we can make ourselves some smoke. So we're gonna have another solid, another black solid, and you can put it under the render or leave it above the particles. It doesn't matter. And here we're gonna grab form. It's another Trapcode form. It's another plugin that you're gonna need. Let that load in. Alright, so now we're going to start with the base form tab. So we're going to click this open, and first things first, we're going to put this to 70. I changed these just a little bit, so I'm going to change those to 72. And you can, other than that, you can leave everything here the same as it is. Go here to the particle tab, make sure this is on cloudlet, and I put this just up 1, and then the size, put this to 50. Size random, keep that at 0. Opacity, you're gonna want to put this to 1. Computer's being really slow right now. Smoke kills your computer. It's so big. That's why you gotta put the size, the opacity low. Put that to 1. Just let that load in. And now we're going to go down here to the disperse and twist tab, and on disperse you just want to put this to 2500, and we should have smoke. There we go. I like to make our smoke gray. Grays really brings out the color on the text, so I like to make mine a typical darker gray. I like mine dark gray. You could make it blue like the intro. I prefer to make mine dark gray. It gets better contrast with the intro. It's just what I like to do. So now that we have that done, I say we start doing color correction to this. So what we're gonna do, just click over here, then you can either right click, new, and then adjustment layer, or you can do the shortcut Control Alt Y, and you're going to drag this above your render. It could be above the camera. The camera doesn't really matter too much. Just as long as it's above the render and the particles and under the bars and the fade. And with this adjustment layer, we're going to go to our effects and presets, and we're going to type in looks. And then we drag this onto our adjustment layer. Wait this to load in. It's another plugin you need by Red Giant, Magic Bullet Looks. I have everything in the description that you need, so don't worry. And make sure your intro is at a point where you can see the whole front of it, so we can actually put the color correction and see what it looks like. And once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and click Edit. Just let this load in. Gonna load in, please. This is the point where intros are annoying because every program and plugin you use just takes so long to open because it's such a big program. Now my AfterEffects is not responding. So this is what I mean. Oh, I think it's actually, we just need to minimize it. Yeah, I don't know why. Sometimes it appears behind it, so if it stops responding, minimize your AfterEffects. So sometimes it just like appears behind it, the plugin. So I don't know. But here is where you make your intro look good. So I learned my CC from Steed, so that's what CC I've been using lately. I've been making that type of CC. So that's what we're going to be making today. So this is your little, these are each categories that you can put effects onto. And here's your tools, and you put these on each one. So we're going to start off on the subject tab, and you're going to go here to tools. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a contrast. You just double click that. Is it really not responding again? Okay, there we go. Contrast. Then up here where it says contrast, you want to put this to 0.180. And then we're going to move on to our next thing. We're going to add a chromatic aberration. This is like an RBG kind of thing. Like if I put it high up, you can see the different colors and stuff, kind of like 3D glasses in a way. So for this one, since it's blue, we're going to put 2 into red and cyan. And then we're going to go ahead and grab some curves. Now you can see what curves do by you moving each one. It messes with the kind of the contrast of everything. I usually don't use this too much. I use it a lot, but I don't do much to it. There's not really much that you need to do. So like this one right here, I'd move down maybe a little bit, and then this one I'd move down a little bit, and that one I'd move down a little bit. That's really about it. You don't need to do much to it. It just kind of darkens the contrast of like the color that you have on there besides the silver. Add some pop. Pop is pretty self-explanatory, just makes it brighter. Put that at 100 because we just put a bunch of contrast and stuff on. And then that means we are done with the subject tab, so we can go ahead and move to the matte tab. And the first one we're going to grab is a light flex. This is kind of like a little light in the background of the intro. So you're going to put this to -5.6, and you're going to want to make this blue, but you don't want it that dark of a blue. So like the color of your intro, but you don't want it so harsh. You kind of want it still a little white, like that. Actually, put that at 0.7. Let's see what that'd be like 6.3. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, so you just want to put that to the color of your intro, but you don't want it too bright. You still want this kind of like whitish. Next, we're going to move on to some diffusion. There's a little glow around the text, as you can see. So you want to put the size up here to 60, and then the grade, you want to put that to 6. And you're going to make this the color of your intro again. So I memorized the blue that I used on my last intro for this. In case you guys were doing a blue intro, you can get the same that I have. So you're going to put that at 0.270 and 0.468. And that is the blue I had on my last intro. We're going to grab another diffusion. And this one, instead of the size of 60, it's going to be 12. And you're going to make this blue as well. I think I had it on 0.487, and this one was like 0.7 something, like 30, I think. And there we go for that. And we're gonna get one last diffusion, but on this one, you're gonna make the size 1, and you're gonna leave everything alone on this one. You're not gonna do anything with it. You're just gonna leave it white, and you're gonna leave it low. So now into our tools, we're going to grab a star filter, and we are going to put this size down all the way to 1, and you're going to want to turn this to -4.1, and then you want to put your threshold all the way to 0, and then you're going to make this blue like your or whatever color your intro is. So mine's blue, so I'm just going to use the same settings I used on my last one. And you don't have to remember settings on this or anything. This is, you know, a creative part of it. You just do whatever looks good. I'm just remembering the settings from what I always use because I make this all the time. So I kind of just remember the settings from every time I made it. Grab another star filter, turn the size all the way down again. But this one you want to put to -5, and then put the threshold back down to 0. And this one you're not going to do anything to this one at all. You're just going to leave this one white. And the last thing we're going to grab here is a warm cool. Warm cool is kind of like a light flex, but it changes everything. As you can see, it's very strong and overbearing, so you don't want to use a lot of it. Since mine's blue, I'm going to move it up to the right just a little bit, so it gets a blue tint. And that's it. You don't want very much of this. It's very strong, as you can see. I barely put a little bit, and it made everything blue. Now we can move on to our lens. We're going to get some edge softness, so anything outside of here is blurry, as you can see. So if I put it there, it would make it blurry. So for the blur size, we want to put at 0.98, and you're going to leave the quality on 3. But this you want to put at 0.725. So it's going to be small. Actually, make that smaller, like that. Actually, no, make it a little bigger. Around there. So it's just outside of your text. So if your text is larger, obviously make it a little bit larger, and leave a little bit of room throughout it, so everything else is like blurry. Next, we're going to add another chromatic aberration, but we're just going to put the red sign on 1. And then we're going to grab the anamorphic flare, and you're going to make this blue like your intro. And what you're going to do is put the size down to 77, and you're going to want to put this to -4.1. It's your boost, and then you're going to want to put the threshold all the way down. And now you can just adjust this to how you think. I kind of want this a little bit darker, so I'm going to put it to there. And it leaves this kind of like glare off the side. I really like anamorphic flare. It's just like one of my favorite effects in looks. It's this and like the star filters are like the best things ever. Now we're going to add a lens distortion. Now what these do, it literally just pops the lens out, depending how much you put it. So I like to put this to 0, the flatten, and then I just leave this at negative. I put this to -25. I mean, like so. And you can adjust this as you like. Just what I use. Next, we're going to put on a vignette. A vignette darkens the edges of outside of the circle. So you see, if I bring this in, it brings in a circle of darkness. So what you're going to do with this one, for the radius, you want to put this on 0.941. You're going to put your aspect on 8.28, and then for your spread, you can leave that at 1, and your fall off, leave that at 0.5, and everything else, actually just leave it that way. So you just kind of want to stretch this out. If you don't like it, you can stretch it out some more. I just leave it like that. I think it looks good that way. And we are done with this tab. Actually, we're gonna go to camera now, and for range saturation, we're gonna put that on there. I'm gonna bring this down to around 50. Bring this down around to around 80. This to around 85. And you could leave everything else the same in here. You can see what that does to your intro. It kind of saturates it and brings it kind of whiter. Now we can add a 3-strip process, and you don't want to turn this low, so I put mine to -2. And then that would be, actually going to add a shoulder to this, and with the shoulder you're going to put this to 1.5, and then that'll be all from this tab. We're going to go to our last tab, post, and we're going to add another pop. And with this though, you want to bring this down to 50, and then you want to bring this up to around 50, 55. I put mine to 55. 57 works too. And I also like to add an S curve and just bring this down a little bit. You just move this up and down. We can finish with that. And I think we have a pretty nice CC. I want to bring the, so I'll rename this smoke. And this is our CC. I want the smoke darker actually. There we go. Looks better. And I want the particles smaller too. Actually, I want them like way smaller. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. So now that we have kind of the cosmetic part done, we can begin making our intro with sync and stuff. So you can move it around and adjust it how you and make sure you like the way everything looks. I think everything looks fine. I think everything looks pretty good. So I'm going to start adding some stuff to this. So one, I'm going to add a shockwave. I left some shockwaves that are free in the description. So if you guys do want a shockwave, go ahead and download one that's in the description. I have my own. I think I'm using Miguel Arts. You could buy his. This is just one I like using from his. I think it's his 5th one, and his shockwave pack. So with these, you want to put them behind the smoke and particles, and we're going to put this quality to quarter and make sure this is just on auto, so the quality isn't full, so it doesn't take so long to pre-render everything. I'm going to find the drop. This looks around the drop, so we're going to drag this to explode just right before, and then you're going to right click it, and then you're going to make it a 3D layer. You're going to drag it so right behind here so it moves with the camera. We're also going to have some looks, and you're going to put it on top of the shockwave video, and you're going to edit it. And you're going to go over here to the camera, and you're going to put on a warm cool, and you're just going to make it blue, or whatever your color of your intro is. Alright, that looks pretty good, and we can fix this up if it goes too early or not, or whatever. So now we could start printing this with this. This pre-renders it, so you're going to let it load out, and we can see what we have so far. And then we can start adding some like sync with S-Shake and Transform and Twitch and stuff. And then we'll be done. It looks like it explodes a little too early, but we'll see what we have. And I guess while this is printing, I talk about I was gonna release some stuff. I was thinking of releasing like a font pack, just like, you know, so you don't have to go through finding a bunch of fonts, because I've already done all that. So if you guys would like a font pack or something, let me know, and I could make one and put one in a download for you guys. I think that'd be pretty cool. So leave in the comments if you want a font pack or something like that. Yeah. I'm gonna turn this down. I think it might be too loud for you guys. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, that looks better. There we go. Alright, so now we can pre-render this again, and I'll just pre-render it up to the Cinema4D sync part to see how it looks, and then we'll start adding sync and stuff like that. RSMB. And then we'll start adding like some extra stuff to it as well, things to make it look better. Oh, and I guess also while it's running, if you do have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll have my Skype in the description, so if you want to add my Skype, and if you have any personal questions about the intro that you don't want to just put in the comments and you want to directly talk to me about, I will help you. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And then if I have my Skype, if you have any further questions and stuff like that, or problems or anything that you'd like to talk about the intro, that is. And yeah. Alright, now let's see how this looks. Alright, that looks pretty good. We're actually gonna fade in our music, so you're gonna click on your music, press L, and then waveform. So the beginning's kind of already faded in for me, but I'm gonna, because I faded it in, but I don't like the fade out. I think it's too loud still. So at about a second, you're gonna keyframe it at 0, then just go to the end and put it at -45, and then do the same here. Then at 1 second, put it at 0. So now we can see our fade out. Our fade. And if you want to see it in full screen, just click that and you can play it. Alright, so now we can start adding some sync and stuff. First, we're going to add some RSMB, so Control Alt Y for a new adjustment layer. And I'm going to rename it RSMB. It's another plugin you're going to need. And we're going to put it onto here. And for the blur amount, you could leave it at 1. Or you could put it to 1 and then put this to 65. That's a bit much. Put it at 60. And then we're going to grab another adjustment layer, and this is going to be our sync layer. We're going to put our transform on. So go over here, type in transform, and you're going to put that on top of that layer. And first we got to mark out where we're going to sync. So you can look at the waveforms by going on your music and then pressing L and then opening up the waveform. And you can like move across it, and you can hold Control, and it'll play the music as you move your needle across, like that, really broken up. And you could do it that way. Or you can press the delete on your numpad, and it'll play just the music. But what I like to do is I just like to render this out, and when I have it, when it's done rendering out, you can put the frame rate lower, and you could listen to the music, and then you could hit the little star on your number pad, the one all the way to the right on your keyboard, and that leaves a little marker here, and you could just that'll tell you where the sync is. I think that's the easiest way to do it, so that's what I'll probably do. But first I can do the obvious sync, like the drop and the Saphire sync. Alright, so now there's a sync here. So for our sync, what we're going to do is, since we're on top of the beat that we want to sync it, you want to put the scale to 120, then keyframe it, move the needle 1 back, and then put this at 100 because that's normal. And you're going to click on this and then press U to open it up, highlight it, and then copy it, and then we're going to go to our next C4D sync, and then just put it there. And then we can grab Control Alt Y and grab a new layer. This is going to be our S_shake. So you go over here, type that in, and you could drag it onto this layer. Whoops, I renamed the wrong layer. Nope, not select children. I don't know what the hell that means. Fades. Shake, and put that on top of the shake. And you can go here and press K, and it'll bring it to any keyframe that's near. So you want this at 0, since that's at 100, the keyframe we're at now. Then press K, and that's the keyframe that's at 120. So you want to put the amplitude to around like 2. Check motion blur. And you could just leave it like that. That's actually just a pretty simple shake. Open it up, and then highlight it. Control C, press K, and then Control V to paste it. And that's like kind of a really simple shake. You can mess with the settings around. You can turn the frequency down. That's how much it shakes side to side. The amplitude's how big the shake is, and then you can open these up. And these, the Y and X, you shake where how the way it shakes, and you could see what it does. So this is kind of messed up. How like you can see the side of it, so we need to scale it in more. So instead of 120, we'll go like, I'll go 130. That's what it does anyway. I'll just turn the I'll fix it later. That's fine for now. YOLO. We're also gonna add another adjustment layer and put it above this. This is gonna be our Twitch layer, and Twitch is like another type of Essence or shake, but more. It has a different type of shake, and there's more things to it, which I like the blur and the RGB split. So what you're gonna do to enable, you're gonna enable slide, and close that, and go to operator controls and slide, and then slide amount. You can put that to like 25. RGB split, I'd put that to like 35. Motion blur, I'd put that to like 30. And the amount, I'd put that to like 20. And then you're gonna press K and get to the one that's actually 120. And then you're gonna keyframe that, and then you're gonna go back one, and then you're gonna keyframe it at 0. And then press U on your keyboard, and you can just copy paste those to those ones. I'm gonna turn the S shake frequency down, it's too high. Put that to like 6. Alright. So once we've done that, we can begin finding, we can pre-render this actually, and then we're gonna find where the normal base sync is at, and we can put markers there. Then we can copy paste what we have here onto those, which should fix these because it'll go to 0 faster. I'll just scale it to 0 so it doesn't shake so much. Alright, let's see what we have. Okay, so now we can find the bass. Like I said, we can turn this down. And I'll turn the music up a little bit. And you're just going to play it, and you're going to listen to it where the bass is at, and then you press a little star on your keyboard. Alright, so now I'm going to hit the markers. Alright, I missed a few things. Actually, I'm going to redo this. And this is the kind of a tedious part I was talking about. Alright, that looks fine. So you should click a layer when you do this, so it puts a marker on the layer, because you can't actually press K and go to those ones. You have to like right click it and then go to this marker. But it's alright. We'll do without it. Control V, go to this marker. Control V, go to this marker. I'm just going to do this for everyone. I'll delete this marker. And then I don't think I'll sync to that one. And at the end I'll just put it at 100. And then we're going to do the same thing with our shake. But with this one we can press K because we have this one open. So just K, double press K, Control V, double press K, Control V. And then put it at 0 at the very end. And then we're going to do the same thing with Twitch. Alright, and now we can pre-render this and see if the sync's on, and we can fix up the sync because I'm sure some of it's a little bit off. We'll adjust it accordingly, and then we could start adding some other stuff to the intro. Alright, let's see what we have. Alright, so I sunk to the little like symbol part. I need to fix that too. Alright, so that one's off. So I'm gonna move those back some. And this is just where we're gonna fix up our sync a little bit. I think I'm gonna delete the ones where I sync to like the little like tisk in the background and just leave it base sync. And if it's still too fast, you know, I'll just lower the frame rate. It's not a big deal. Alright, move that one. You can hear the bass. Put that back. Move that back. And you're just gonna keep doing this for each one till you get it. This one's kind of hard because this song is like hella loud, but it shouldn't be too bad. And a lot of songs, like, you usually can tell the difference from the bass from the normal song, like the normal noise of the song. But this whole song is just super loud, this remix, so it's kind of hard to tell from the wavelengths. So just gotta kind of like listen and just kind of guess where you think you hear it at. And then just move it accordingly until it looks like it's on. Close Cinema4D actually. Move these ones down back just a little bit. And I think we almost have every sync that's is on point. So after we're done with this, we're gonna start adding some like extra things to this, adjust the settings if we need to, and then I'll probably add some turbulent displays, I'll probably move the bars a little bit to the drop, some like rotations and stuff like that. Fuck off. I think that looks good. Lower it some more. Turn this up a little bit higher. And I'll play it in full screen and see.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I forgot to change them all to 130. Fuck. I'm gonna change all of them to 130, just because I think it needs a heavier sync. Alright, so I also wanted to move the shockwave up. I think it goes too early. In our bars, keyframe it around here, and then move it back a little bit, and then put them at 100, so the bars drop down on the drop. And now we can pre-render it and see. I still think I need to lower the shake settings because it's still super high. Yeah, I need to lower them a little bit. Alright, let's see what we have. Actually pretty good. Alright, that looks actually pretty good, so we're going to save this, make sure that nothing gets deleted, and, yep, I don't really like that. Alright, I want to put the Twitch up too. I think the speed should be at like 7. Actually, no, I don't. I need to put this, I need to put down, things down. 1.75. I want the Twitch RGB up though. That to 45. More motion blur. I love motion blur. You can never have too much motion blur. Well, you can, but motion blur is great. I was thinking of putting another shockwave. Copy paste that. I don't know how that's gonna look. I don't know. We'll see. So this is again just creative. You can just do whatever. That's the beauty of intros. You can just do whatever you want. There's no like certain order or style you have to follow. You just kind of do you. It's like art. So you get to unleash your inner creativity and just kind of do whatever you want. Actually, I know how to fix those sides from coming out. Looks pretty good. Actually, I think I know how to fix this, so make a new adjustment layer. And if this is just, those sides are still coming out from that, I think we could just put this whole thing at 110. That should fix it. Yeah, there you go. I fixed it. Alright, so just scale it up a little bit. I don't know, put this extra scale. Alright, so I think that looked pretty good actually, that second shockwave. It may be a little too early, so I'm going to pre-render this again and see if it came too early. And if not, we're going to start adding some like rotation stuff and some turbulent displace. I don't remember the turbulent display settings off my head. I got my settings from David F. He had yeah, he was like selling stuff, and I bought how to do them, and that's what I always would make him off. It's like, I don't know, he'd do some crazy stuff. He knows so many things,
He'd put like turbulent displace and wave warp and stuff on top of the adjustment layer for your turbulent displace. It's like really complicated. But I don't think I'm allowed to give it away. It's actually still loud. I hope this isn't too loud. I really hope it's not. Turn this lower. Put this at like 50 and see what it looks like. I think it looks actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Actually does look pretty good. Maybe just a smidge, that's it. So now for I don't know what I'm gonna do for turbulent displays because I want to show you how to do it, but the only settings I know how to like do are from like David F, and I don't think I'm allowed to give those out, and I don't want to be like giving them out just to because I don't want David F to be mad in case he sees this video. So I doubt he will, but I still don't want to be giving them out because I don't think I'm allowed to be. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just try and make some now. But yeah, we're gonna add some stuff to the sync so it's not so boring. I don't like how fast the bars are either. Spread them out some more. Just too fast. No, that looks pretty good. I really hope this isn't too loud for you guys. I don't think it is, but I don't know. I really don't want it to be. So just delete all these markers. Save what we have right now. Make a new adjustment layer. Actually, no, we're not going to do that, actually. Do I have to pre-render it again? Are you serious? Gosh, this is why AfterEffects is a pain to pre-render everything. Alright, so I don't know what I want to do to the sync yet. Alright, so that one, we're going to go here, rotation, or, actually no, we're not going to do that. Actually, we are going to make a new adjustment layer first. And it's going to be our displace. I don't know how else to go. I haven't used like other settings in David's in like so long. So I'm going to put turbulent displace, and we're going to put it where our Cinema4D sync was. So on the displace, what you're going to do is you're going to put this on 0. Whoops. 0. And keyframe it. Run before your the sync, and then on the sync. That's when you want to do the. Just kind of like distort it up. I really don't know complexity. What does this do? Ooh. We're just gonna play with this. And then down here you're gonna put it to 0. Press U to open this up. What the hell? What happened? Did I not keyframe anything? Oh, didn't. Sure. And then by our next sync, you want to have this at 0, so it kind of gradually dies away. Like that. And I like to put some waves on it. Some wave warp. Actually, is it wave warp? Is it wave warp that we use? I don't know. Fucking YOLO. I need to fix this wave up. Actually, I don't like this. I don't like wave warp. I'm gonna use s_wave. Wait, what is it? Waves? Isn't there different waves? Warp waves, there you go. Amplitude, you want to turn that down. Frequency, turn that down. And there, amplitude, just gonna put that there. One behind, make it 0. And there, make that 0 at the end. We can see what that looks like. I don't know, those are really bad. Actually, we can actually easy ease these though. Keyframe assistant and easy ease, so they like ease out. Actually, I don't think I want to do that though. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna leave it like that. I think those turbulence should be fine. Those aren't the best settings. I suck at turbulent displays. That's why I learned how to do them from David F. from buying it. So I don't know. We'll see how it looks. Yeah, I think it looks fun. Actually, doesn't look too bad. So I think we may want to actually easy ease these. So easy ease. Yeah, I think that may look better on them, so it doesn't just like stop so abruptly. Kind of want them farther out, so there's more of the turbulent. Alright, so I think that looks fine. I'm gonna do some more things with the sync. I don't know what I want to do. I guess I'll do it right here. You're going to click on your render, click R for rotation, and right before it, just make sure it's on 0 before the actual sync. Press K to go to where the actual sync is, and make this 180. And then press K and then go to the other one. Press the little diamond, and then press K again and put it at 0. And we'll see how that looks. I'm not sure. It should look fine. I usually do stuff like this in my intros all the time. You can go check them out and see what I do. I usually make them go backwards and stuff and upside down. I also think it needs more blur on the Twitch. God, maybe a turbulent displace there or something. Let's see what a turbulent displace looks. We'll see what a turbulent displace looks right there. Control C, then Control V. Alright, yeah, I have an idea. Alright, so they're right here. Go back onto our... actually, we can close these and go on our render, and then you're going to click S for scale. You're going to click that, then press U so you can see everything that's on here. Go here, and then you're going to drag your scale back, actually, like this. Looks a little weird because of all the blur, but I think we'll be okay. Go here, hit that diamond, and then bring it back to 100, right there. And I think we'll do some like color switches and stuff too. I usually don't use that much color change, but I don't know, we'll see what looks good with this intro. And where to put it. Maybe I'll put it at the end or at the beginning or something, or in the middle, one of those. Yeah, at the drop or the Saphire sync or this last part that we're doing right now. See how it looks. Oh wait, actually no, that's wrong. I did that wrong. You're actually not supposed to scale it there like that. Delete that one. So it's supposed to like go out like that. So you keyframe it at 0 at the first drop, and then when it actually gets like before it gets to like upright again. That's how you keyframe it like that. So keyframe it at 0, and then right before it, put it like 38, and then on it 100. That's how it should look. That's why it looks so weird. So that's how it should look. I'm not gonna re-render this again, gosh. And this is just from current time. If you click that, it'll render from wherever your needle's at, just so you guys know. Looks okay, I guess. I don't know. It looks fine. I really hope I'm recording. Okay, thank God. I probably should have checked that, but it's okay. And then we're just about done, actually. I'm not really putting much into this. I just want to keep it simple. I don't want to like overbear everything. Just keep it something simple for you guys, just so you can get the basics of it. Now let's see what we have so far. Looks pretty good. Alright, I think that looks fine. We can add another adjustment layer now. Bring it to the top. And then we'll change this to color. Change. Go over here to your effects and presets, and you're going to type in hue. And look for hue/saturation. Drag it on there. Now you can obviously see what this does. You just drag this wheel. It changes the color. So where we're gonna do that, I actually have no idea. We could keyframe it like here, the match channel range, and then right before the drop, it can go through like all the colors. Like that, maybe. Maybe that'll look good. I don't know, does that look good? I don't know. Actually, I have a better idea. Forget those. Put that to 0. Put that to 0. We can keyframe that, so everything's at 0. Go to our sync, and then we'll change the color, like to red. There, that looks good. So then that part of the intro will be red or something. Instead of the beginning, I think the beginning looks very good. Some of those colors are just ugly. I think it looks pretty good. Let's see what we got. I don't know, I think that looks okay. That's not something I would typically do, but I don't know. Just so you guys know more, I guess. Doesn't really matter, just so you guys get some knowledge out of it. I can't think of anything else I'd add to this. I think that looks pretty good, actually. I think I'm just going to leave it at that. So we can have one more look at it. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. I think that's where we're going to call it an end to this intro tutorial. I think that looks just fine. I think I've taught you guys the basics, the very, very basics of making an intro. So I do hope you guys learn something new, learn how to do something, anything like that, how to do something better. I guess if you have any questions, like I said earlier, just to leave them in the description, or not in the description, the comments, and I will answer them. My Skype will be in the description, so if you do want to add my Skype, it will be there for you guys. And other than that, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So to render this, I'll show you guys how to render this and call it a day. Go up here to composition with this clicked, add to render queue, and then make sure you name it, put it to your desktop, finished intro, and then you just click render and it will render out however long it takes, depends on your computer. So I'll render mine out because I want to show a preview before the video starts. But I do hope you guys did enjoy this video. I'm sorry for the wait. I'm an idiot. It's like the third time I'm re-recording this. So make sure if you have any questions in the comments, and I will answer all of them. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next intro. Peace.